I'm Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. We need a new generation of fighters who are ready to throw down for what's right. My friend Christian Menifee is that fighter. Christian Menifee took on MAGA in Texas and won. In Congress, I see him doing the work firsthand every single day. Y'all, on May 26th, I need you to vote for Congressman Christian Menifee.
Protect Progress is responsible for the content of this ad.
Well, Jasmine Crockett played a role in ousting a wonderful politician, if you ask me, Congressman Al Green. Yes, he was older, but he was a fighter, to say the least, and a critic of Israel. Unfortunately, the person who beat him, the person you heard Jasmine Crockett endorsing in that last clip, is someone who is bought by corporate interests and is a lot more supportive toward Israel, which is why you had, you have a black incumbent, Al Green, being challenged by a younger Democratic challenger. It's just that this younger Democratic challenger has differences of opinion when it comes to a foreign country. So the campaign ad that you just watched was brought to our attention by independent journalist Andrew Perez, who wrote this on X. A new wrinkle to crypto's election buying. Jasmine Crockett tapped an ad for a crypto super PAC to help the industry take out her Democratic colleague, Al Green. Quote, I can't think of another instance of a sitting lawmaker appearing in an industry-funded super PAC ad, Brendan Fisher says. So that was actually a $500,000 advertisement paid for by a super PAC known as Protect Progress. Now, when it comes to super PACs that have those really good sounding names, usually you should expect the opposite of what their name would describe, right? So Protect Progress is affiliated with Fair Shake, a deep-pocketed super PAC that reported $193 million in cash on hand at the beginning of the year. Protect Progress boosts left-leaning candidates who support cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, while its Republican counterpart, Defend American Jobs, spends on behalf of Republican candidates. So look, when it comes to corporations, industry, whatever, you'll notice that they bribe politicians on both sides of the political aisle. And that's exactly what I just outlined for you in reading that graphic. So Greens, like in the Texas race between Christian Menifee and Al Green, Green's donations stem from a mix of small individual donors giving less than $200 and larger four-figure sums. Big name donors include former Houston Metro Chair Corinne Patman, Hillco lobbying firm co-founder Bill Miller, and healthcare executive Tahir Javid. And he's also been boosted by donations from PACs for United Airlines and beer wholesaler, credit union, and realtor groups, along with various unions. But all of that, according to the Texas Tribune, has been dwarfed by the support Menifee has gotten from the crypto super PAC, Protect Progress. The group dropped $1.5 million on ads boosting him ahead of the March primary election, and it has spent more than double that amount leading up to the runoff, according to Federal Election Commission filings that show Protect Progress has poured in more than $4 million on Menifee's behalf. So the question is why? Right? Like why? Why did Jasmine Crockett go in that direction? Why did she appear in that ad against Al Green? And is she taking crypto money? What's going on here, right? Well, Crockett and Menifee are willing to give all sorts of cookies to the crypto industry, which you shouldn't be shocked by. Crockett is one of the Democrats' fiercest warriors on behalf of the crypto lobby. And this goes all the way back to her first congressional run when crypto super PAC spent over, I didn't know this, $2 million to get her elected. $2 million to get her elected. Yeah. So Crockett voted last year for the crypto industry's priority legislation, the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for US Stablecoins, or known as Genius Act, the first major effort to regulate cryptocurrency nationwide. Regulate is an interesting word to use in this context, but I digress. It gave the industry long-sought legitimacy and helped fulfill Trump's campaign promise to make the US the crypto capital of the planet. Trump himself has grifted off this crypto scheme in the crypto industry, providing avenues in which foreign actors can bribe the president by buying his stable coins. But anyway, or buying his coins, his crypto. So according to Texas Monthly, Crockett was among 102 Democrats who voted with most Republicans to approve that bill. 110 Democrats voted against it. In addition to tech titan and conservative provocateur Mark Andreessen, Ben Horowitz and Gemini co-founders, the Winklevoss twins, contributed to her campaign, helped her get elected. So she also received contributions in 2024 from Anatoly Yakovenko, the CEO of the blockchain platform Solana, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, and Hayden Adams, the CEO of the cryptocurrency exchange Uniswap. Each of these donors or their companies would later contribute to Trump's inaugural fund, according to records collected by Open Secret. So I'm gonna pause right here and just say, Jasmine Crockett is a relatively new member of Congress. And what really put her on the map in terms of name recognition was the argument that she had on the House floor with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Let me tell you about someone we hired recently. Great on paper, sure, but what really sold me? They were genuinely interested in the role, asked smart questions. You could tell they actually wanted to work here. Their excitement made their resume stand out from all the others. If you're hiring, you want a candidate who's passionate about your role. But you can't get that insight from just a resume, unless you post your job on ZipRecruiter. Now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/TYT. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds qualified candidates quickly, and ZipRecruiter has a new feature that shows you the most interested, qualified candidates first, so you meet the right people faster. Candidates can tell you in their own words why they're interested in your job. No wonder ZipRecruiter's the #1 rated hiring site. Find candidates who really want your job on ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/TYT. That's ziprecruiter.com/TYT. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
So they're, trading barbs, taking jabs at each other and one another's appearance. And what really stood out to me about that moment, even though at that moment I was like, okay, all right, she's a fighter, I like that, I like fighters, was that everything I saw from her in that moment moving forward was identitarianism, theater, a lot of kabuki theater, basically the illusion of a strong Democratic fighter. But if you pay attention to the substance of what she's fighting for, ain't much substance there. Just keeping it real. Okay, you made fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene's body. I guess we're celebrating that now. But what are you going to do for your constituents? How are you gonna represent Democratic voters? What are you fighting for? Who are you? We later learned that Jasmine Crockett took the Israel propaganda trips that so many members of Congress, both on the left and right, go to. She defended her, support for Israel. She defended the fact that she went on that trip in the first place, and in fact got super salty toward Michael Tracy when he asked questions about her relationship to the Israel lobby and their support for her. Oh, there we go. We've got a photo of her. There she is in Israel. The yellow circle is where you'll find her. So this is where she traveled to Israel for one of these trips, okay? Other members of Congress are seen there as well. And so that's a little bit of a problem. Now, going back to Menefee for a moment, He wrote on his campaign site that blockchain technology, the decentralized system used to record and verify crypto transactions, offers the potential to increase trust, transparency, and efficiency with rules to protect consumers. Does it though? I mean, what does this do in regard to, corruption, basically illegal dealings, right? Being paid for or funded through cryptocurrency. Like there's a real problem with that. But nonetheless, the Texas Tribune also added that the industry group stands with crypto. I'm sorry, the industry group Stand With Crypto gave an A rating to Menefee and an F to Al Green, who Menefee just recently beat in the primary race. And that's because Al Green actually voted against several crypto bills, including the Genius Act, because he was more interested in what was right for his constituents as opposed to an industry that heavily funded his campaign. But you'd be surprised to learn that it's not just crypto. Let's go to this AIPAC post because they love to rub it in our faces and then cry like they're victims when we all acknowledge that the Israel lobby has a nefarious purpose here in the US. Congratulations, Representative Christian Menefee, on your victory tonight over one of the most outspoken anti-Israel voices in Congress. So just take that in, Democratic voters, take it in. The majority of Democratic voters, according to polling, would like to stop aiding and abetting Israel's war crimes. They would like to stop sending our resources to Israel. Nonetheless, you have enough money pumped into the campaign of, a Democratic challenger to an incumbent, and you just play enough ads that honestly trick people into thinking the challenger is better, and people will vote for them, and that's where we are today. So let's pivot to this Missouri race and Wesley Bell, because it doesn't end there for Crockett. In addition to all of what's going down in Texas, Crockett faced backlash for backing an AIPAC-funded candidate in Missouri. So that candidate is Representative Wesley Bell, who is going up against an actual progressive, Cori Bush. Cori Bush is running again. This is going to be a rematch for a House seat. So when Bell took office in January of 2025, he did so on the heels of one of the most expensive congressional primary campaigns in American history, backed heavily by pro-Israel organizations, including the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC, and its super PAC, United Democracy Project. Bell defeated Bush by roughly 5.5 percentage points. Bush has framed her campaign as an act of resistance against massive outside spending and special interests, stating that voters want to be the ones to pick their representatives. Some believe the message directly clashes with Crockett's endorsement of Bell. Good, it should. Crockett's not your friend, okay? Crockett is more of the same corrupt Democrat slop that I think Democratic voters have had enough of. I could be wrong, but just based on the polling, what Democrats keep saying they want, what the voters keep saying they want, Crockett ain't it. But she's ready and willing to play ball with some of the most corrupt, lobbies and influential lobbies in this country. She knows how to get her bread buttered, and that's how she made her way to Congress. And she's going to go ahead and serve those corporate interests like a good corporate operative within Congress. Crockett was quick to respond to this, by the way, claiming that she didn't endorse Wesley Bell, she wrote this on Threads. Y'all are hilarious. It's 9 a.m. where I am, and I'm awakened to the same overly pressed paid losers talking crap. Now that I've gotten your attention, the Fire PAC lists all of our formally endorsed candidates. When a member of Congress invites you to their district on behalf of an organization to speak, okay, in order to speak, we aren't crappy toward the member as some of you seemingly want a person to be. I've seen you be plenty crappy to people. Like it seems to be your brand. So why are you pretending like it's not your brand? It's not something you do. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. when I'm speaking of a member, when I'm asked to, I won't tear them down. I will speak of what it is that I've seen of them. And I spoke to what I've seen of the congressman when in St. Louis, as he asked me to speak at his private event. Now, please rush out and ask both candidates which one solicited an endorsement from me. P.S. Texas and Cali are the only states with formal endorsements so far, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, she's corrupt. She's not your friend. She's more of what we don't want in the Democratic Party. And unless we wake up to this reality and we stop falling prey to obvious identitarianism meant to distract us with BS, we're gonna keep having a pathetic Democratic Party in Congress that does nothing for us. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Randy Gonzalez, okay? Because Crockett, not your friend, more of the same. We need to make changes. Unless we make those changes, we're gonna keep being disappointed in what Congress does for us.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.